Now that the dust has settled from the NBA draft, it's time to discuss the biggest winners as well as the biggest losers. This is my first YouTube video, so if you guys wouldn't mind liking and subscribing, it would really mean a lot to me. Now without taking any more of your time, let's get started. Our first winner of the night was the Detroit Pistons. They didn't do anything crazy or earth-shattering, and that's because they didn't need to. Cade Cunningham was the easy pick to go number 1, and they kept it simple and went with him. When you look at his physical tools as a 6'8" point guard with a 7'1" wingspan, along with his stats of 20 points per game, 6 rebounds and 4 assists, on 44% shooting, including 40% from behind the arc, it's clear to see why he was the best prospect. Not to mention all of the accolades he racked up in college, as an All-American, Big 12 Rookie of the Year, and Big 12 Player of the Year. I really do think that he has a chance to be a generational talent, and possibly the best number 1 pick since Anthony Davis. It didn't stop with Cunningham though. I also like the Pistons' other selections of JT Thor, Isaiah Livers, and Luka Garza. Taking Garza, the reigning College Player of the Year, with the 52nd pick is a great low-risk play. Overall, a very good draft for the Pistons. The next winner we have is the Charlotte Hornets. Charlotte was very fortunate that James Bouknight fell into their lap at number 11, and they made sure not to waste it. Bouknight is a dynamic 3-level scorer that can fill it up fast. I've watched him play every game of his college career since I'm a UConn fan, and he has an extremely smooth game that is well suited for the NBA. He has a knack for making difficult shots and is an explosive athlete. Pairing him up in the backcourt with LaMelo Ball will make for one of the most exciting young guard tandems in the league. Where Charlotte really sealed the deal on a great draft is with the 19th pick that they traded up for, when they selected Kai Jones out of Texas, who is a big athletic big man who gives them some much needed rim protection. Add in Scotty Lewis, who I think is a good value guy with high upside, and the Hornets really did some great things on draft night. The third winner from the night was Josh Giddey. When the Thunder selected him 6th overall, that was a real shocker to a lot of people, myself included. I don't remember seeing a single mock draft that had him going to the Thunder, as most had him going between the 9 and 12 picks. Being selected 6th overall earned him an extra $2.7 million guaranteed, compared to being drafted at the 10 spot. And he's going to a team with a much better future in the Thunder, compared to some of the other teams like the Magic and Kings that were picking later. Some people were questioning what the Warriors were doing, but overall, I think they had a good draft. They picked the best available player at number 7, which was Jonathan Kuminga, who a few months ago was widely regarded as a top 5 prospect. He's a little raw, which is why some people didn't like the pick, as the Warriors are in win now mode, but I think he gives them a solid player to develop going forward. But where the Warriors really turned this from an okay draft to a good one is when they selected Moses Moody at number 14. Moody will fit in really well with the Warriors as a 3-and-D guy that oozes potential. At 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan and one of the best shooters in the draft, it's hard not to love this pick. And our final winner is the Houston Rockets. They grabbed Jalen Green with the 2nd pick, and he's a guy that I think has legit superstar potential. An incredible athlete with good 3-level scoring and a jump shot that's coming around. I really like his game, and next to Kevin Porter Jr., that will give Houston a dynamic young backcourt. Then using 2 of their other first-round picks to snag Usman Garuba and Josh Christopher, it really rounds out the Rockets roster with some great young talent. I also really like the pickup of Sengun from Turkey, as it seems like he's a guy with a ton of upside as well. Houston is already on their way to rebuilding from the James Harden trade. Of course, there can't only be winners, so now it's time to look at some of the losers of the night. First up is the San Antonio Spurs, taking Josh Primo at number 12. This pick really seemed like a reach, as most mock drafts had him as a late first-round pick or early second-rounder. He's still very young at just 18 years old, but he only averaged 8 points and 3 rebounds per game last year at Alabama. Selecting him with a lottery pick seems unnecessary, as they easily could have traded down and gotten something extra for him, but maybe they couldn't find a trading partner. Either way, this pick didn't seem great. Now this has nothing to do with Primo as a player, because maybe he'll turn out to be a great one. It was just the place that he was selected that made it bad for the Spurs. Our next loser of the night is Brandon Boston. A year ago, he seemed like a surefire first-round pick, with the possibility of being selected in the top 10. However, after a difficult year at Kentucky that raised a lot of questions about the state of his development, Boston slid all the way down to the 51st selection. Similar to Boston, our next loser is SHARIF Cooper. As recently as this spring, Cooper was a possible lottery pick and almost assured first-rounder. However, he had a colossal draft night slide as well, all the way down to the Hawks at number 48. A late start to his college season, as well as concerns over his size and shooting, likely fueled this drop. That's it for me today, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe and have a good one.